here. It's a Crenova 5000 LUX projector. More information will be included below. I'm just going to open the box and pull it out. Okay, so you can see right on the box there what it is and how it's packed. Some airbags. So I'm guessing it's pretty well packed inside this box. So I'm gonna break the seal from Crenova. This is Crenova, Crenova.net on this little penny here. Alright. It's pretty sizable. We got that, back like that. There's a box inside. So, we got inside this box power plug, AV cord with 3.5mm jack, HDMI cable, remote control, empty box, no information on gift card, probably 20% off their products, little official optical tissue paper, I guess, to clean a whole pack of little cleaning tissues for assuming cleaning the lens, and then a little instruction guide, warranty card, 1-year warranty, Crenova, little smiley face, contact us. 24-hour customer support, customer service. We got the little instruction guide. Breaks down Projector. So we can go through that later and read some of the information on it. So that's what's included in the box, this stuff. And then packed plastic off. Okay, it's a projector upside down. Got a nice rubbery cap for the lens. On the side here we got a PC port, so you can hook your display for your PC up. And then we got audio out and then AV, so if you're running an AV in, it would be one's audio out and the other one is the AV in, so if you were to hook this up. The back side we got, looks like 2 HDMIs and 2 USBs. The USBs would be to plug in a memory stick to be able to view videos off the memory stick, your power port, on-off switch, and then infrared port here for the remote on the back side, and I'm going to say, can't tell, that might be an infrared port here on the top, so if it was upside down you'd be able to read, and then you have infrared here in the front, so I'm assuming that's an infrared. That may just be a power light, but you definitely got infrared on the front and infrared here on the back somewhere. Big lens. So it says it's 5000 LUX, so it's a very nice looking, feeling projector. Solid, got some weight to it, and I'm hoping when I go to read the instructions, here's the, if you wanted to adjust the height of the screen when it's on a table or something, if you wanted, that's your adjustment. elevate the height. On the ceiling, I'm assuming that these feet, let's see, I'll have to look at the instructions. These feet, I'm hoping, come off, and that's where you ceiling mount it. So you can, like I was saying about ceiling mountable, you pry off the little rubber feet, and there's a mounting screw, mounting threads for the ceiling mount. But what I do when I pull these off, instead of losing them, stick it right to the housing, so that way you're not going to lose them. Each one you pull off, just stick it right on the housing. So now I can put the ceiling mounts. If you ever want to flip it the other way, you peel it off here and stick it back on, and you can sit on the tabletop. Okay, I didn't open the remote. Just going to open the package here and show you what's in it. Looking at the remote here, doesn't look like it's closed all the way there, but there's a little thing here to pry. Just want to double check to see if there's batteries in it. I'm assuming there probably is. No, there isn't. So it takes 2 AAA batteries for the remote. So that's one thing I need. Okay. Now, this is a standard mount off of standard ceiling mount that goes above to your ceiling. I took the little rubber feet off and I put 2 screws in here that I actually had for my other projector. Okay, but I didn't have, I had to search around to find more. So just to give you an idea of what size screw goes in here, it's a 4mm by 10mm. I don't know if you can see that. You go to the hardware store and buy yourself 4mm by 10mm screws. Now, I happen to have these out in my garage, so just it's a temporary thing here, or maybe permanent, I don't know. But 4mm, remember, 4mm by 10mm screws. And once you get the screws all in, you're going to ceiling mount it like I'm going to. You'll be able to pick it up by this, situate it wherever it's going to be. So I'm going to go mount it. Okay, I've hung the projector on my mount that I made here. I've actually constructed this mount out of an old bed frame, believe it or not, and I welded I cut the ceiling mount off. It's a whole other project, but I cut the ceiling mount that would normally mount to the ceiling, but since I have a cathedral ceiling that's so high and I don't want a bar coming down from my ceiling, so I made this mount so I can swing it out of the way. So if I don't want this in the center of my living room, I can just swing this right against the wall, and it's really nice for the projector. So I mounted it, and that's the reason I was explaining that is because I didn't paint this yet. It's just up there. So I got the new Crenova mounted, and I'm going to turn it on. So I hit the on switch for power, but it's showing you the light red, green here. But what I got to do is actually power it on. Just I hit one button, one click on the remote, and it powers on. So I've mounted this, because I mounted this on the ceiling. Get an adjusted pointer on my screen there. So I have it mounted on the ceiling instead of being right side up sitting on a surface. I have it mounted on the ceiling. But one of the first things you have to do is go to your screen correction. See, we're upside down, so I want to just flip the screen, and now it's backwards. So that would mean you could also mount this behind the screen, and that's upside down. So basically there's multiple ways you can mount this or project it. If you have a screen that you can actually project from behind and view it from the front, you can actually flip it so it's behind upside down, or on the front, or the front upside down like I have it here. In this mode, you can go back to the settings and you can hit keystone correction. Now, I don't know which, oh, I can see it there. It's showing the screen. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it's pretty close. So it's actually got a, it's not like my old projector had a manual keystone correction on it. You had to actually move it. This is actually in the remote. That's a pretty nice feature. So it seems like a lot of the options and settings, you know, you can change so much different stuff in this picture, sound, you know, surround sound, balance, all that. It's got in there clock. I didn't set the clock or time. Language, you can change different languages. It's all here in the settings. And the remote seems to, you know, be very responsive. Doesn't have, I don't have to try and push the button or fight with the remote. It actually seems like a very nice responsive remote to whatever I'm actually doing. And this is, right now I'm showing the projector in my living room, and I have the lights on bright. You can see how bright they are, so it's a real nice crystal clear picture. Even, you know, it's still daylight outside. It's not super bright, but you know, you can see, easily see this on the screen. Let me see here, and I wanted to see aspect ratio. It's on 16.9 or whatever you want to call it. So you have 4.3, you have auto. So I guess auto is for if you have it, whatever you put in it, if the screen changes or something. But I'm just going to do it on 16.9. So get back out of the menu, and if I want to adjust it back a little bit to make it fill more of the screen, I just pull my screen back. So I think we're about, what was it, 11 feet?
11 and a half.
We're 11 and a half feet from the screen to give us a 130-inch picture. Okay, one of the features you can do to it is you can link other devices like Xbox, PS3. Here I've got my Google Chromecast hooked to the TV, and so there's the screen of my cell phone on the TV set. And if I want to go to YouTube to my channel, and let's say I want to watch something on my channel, so let's go to the previous video I've done for Crenova. It's their mini projector, which is an excellent projector, and you can hear the speakers up there. Let's see if we go. Let's go Chromecast. Let's do the right directly from YouTube Chromecasting. I'll try that one instead of we're doing it from my phone, but doing it through YouTube. And let's see, turn. So I guess it matters. Yeah.
Seems like everything moves nice, and you know, you'll be able to play easy. This Xbox game.
Let's rewind it. Let's go back a little bit. So. Okay, so there's what it's showing on my phone and what's on the TV and what, you know, playing a game on the previous projector. So you can Chromecast very easily from my video there. That's Chromecasting through YouTube with Chromecast, which is a neat option to do. And I'm going to hit source here, and on the source you can see my HDMI 2, PC if you're hooked to your PC computer through the PC connection, AV if it was an AV jack that it came with, or USB, which we'll try here next. Okay, I'm putting a memory stick in. Showed up, it popped up on the screen there already, so I'm going to go to movies, and it's pretty fast, you know, literally pretty much as soon as I click the button. So I'm going to take and pick a movie. Let's see how we start this. I hit this button here, you know, you can skip between movies, so I'm going to fast forward. Okay, I just shut off the lights in my kitchen area, and it's still daylight outside. You can kind of see the light creeping in from outside. So here's the picture quality with the room darkened a little bit and the lights out. It's excellent, excellent picture quality. Let's try another movie. You can see just how quickly it goes through the movie itself. Okay, and let's try a kids movie. Now this movie is a little bit quieter, so I'm turning the volume up some more. Which is very bright. It's a nice picture. So I think the picture is excellent. So let's try some video gaming. Okay, this is what the video game looks like with the room lights on in the house. There still is some daylight outside, so we're not in total darkness. I'm gonna just shut the room lights off, and it's a crystal clear picture. You know, the speakers are omnidirectional speakers that pump out sound in every direction. I think the speakers have a good sound quality to them, but we've changed from where we had it hooked up to it to our Xbox, which our Xbox runs through our home theater, which is now giving us surround sound. So we're not using the built-in speakers that have SRS surround sound, you know, somewhat experience, whatever it is. So it's got a 5,000 lux brightness with, it says 16,700K color range, and it says advanced pixel tech 4001 contrast ratio, gives you a true corner-to-corner clarity in viewing different scenes. So we've tried a whole bunch of different ways of hooking it up, and now we've just got it hooked to the Xbox to see how crystal clear. And the projector we had up here before was a 720 projector, and it was an excellent projector, but this projector's clarity, I think we had our old projector was like a 3500 lux, and this is a 5000 lux, which is definitely a noticeable difference in brightness. It's really crystal clear, so I love the picture. I don't know if we're going to be able to get my kids keep away from it. You know, they're going to want to have this on all the time. So far I'm extremely happy with the picture. We should try another game. Action. Okay, we're showing the clarity in the video game here with action. They don't recommend this for office presentations, and I say it's because they don't want the screen to burn in from the images being a still image all the time, like if you're reviewing Word or something like that. The images don't move. What they want is just the best life expectancy for this is to have a constant moving LCD screen inside, and it's great for video games from that aspect because there's a lot of fast action pace, moving, and shooting and everything else. So it's just showing you a little bit of an action game, how it moves. There's no hesitation, no blurring of the images. It's a real nice picture. You know, just great for video gaming. I think it's fantastic. So you can see how it plays on the Xbox, how crystal clear it is. It's running the Xbox, like I said, through my home stereo, and then I have HDMI cable running up to the projector. You can do that with any system. You can do it with the PS3, PS4, the Nintendo Switch, any system that has HDMI out. Even you can run from a laptop with an HDMI out. You could run movies off your laptop or something. Any HDMI source that can go into the back of this. So there's many options for PC input. You know, USBs for memory sticks and movies on memory sticks. And the way I have it set up right now was HDMI running off an Xbox. And we run our Netflix through Xbox. You know, but everything that you could play game source wise through an HDMI will play into this, so it makes for a lot of options to be able to view something. Alright, there it is, hanging from my ceiling on with the Xbox playing in the background, and they say don't look into the light, and I'm going to do it with the camera because, you know, it's probably safer. Oh, you can actually kind of see the image inside, but you would probably burn your retinas out of your head if you looked into it, so don't ever look into the light. The other reason I'm showing it like this is because you can hear the fan, but the fan is not loud enough to really be noticeable over the sound, and the sound isn't really turned up that much. You can just hear, I put the camera up close to it. You just hear the fan. So it's really not that loud. I'm about a foot from the projector, and that's the fan running, if you can hear it on the video. It's very quiet. So I'm going to talk here and see if you can notice the fan running in the background over my voice. The supported resolution input is 1080, so you can plug any 1080 source into it. The native resolution output is what was it, 1280 by 800. Yeah, 1280 by 800. So setting up the projector here, if you need to focus it, you actually twist the lens itself on the outside ring of the lens. You twist it one way or the other to get the best clarity in the picture, to focus it. On the remote here, there's a button on the top that shows a little picture, and if you hit it, it flips it upside down, backwards, so you don't actually have to go into the menu to flip that around. You can flip your images around just by pressing that little button. I'm trying to focus on it. That button right there. Okay, so you don't have to go into your menu, and then you have your source button. It's pretty simple. You play around with it. Movies, you skip between movies or fast forward. You have your play, and then your keystone correction. You can go through here and do your keystone correction, which can be up to as much as 40 degrees, which would be a pretty big slant on your picture, one way or the other. If you imagine edge of your screen, it would slant depending on the position of your projector, whether it was down low or it was up high on the ceiling. It would angle your screen. You can use your keystone correction to angle the picture to make it how it is here, nice and straight. So we got a 14-foot screen, diagonal 14-foot screen on the garage door, with it sitting on the hood of my Excursion. The volume's plenty loud out here. It's good enough for just about any viewing. Foot diagonal. And that's not even the maximum size. I think I measured it out. It's like 156 inches diagonal right now. It can go out further. The maximum size on the screen is 200 inches, so what it says. So I'm going to try something here on my buddy's garage and see how big a screen we can get. Alright, last night I maxed the size of the screen out, and the limitation of the biggest screen in the world, or a 20, I think it was 23 foot, I measured it out actually, is the limitation of the focal length of the actual, you can only turn it so much, and basically once you hit that point, it doesn't focus anymore. So literally the size screen I have in the end of the video is the biggest you could possibly make it. Granted, the company says it's 200 inches. You can make it pretty much up to 23 feet wide, so 16 foot tall, which is huge, which is like, I think we figured out to be like a 28-foot diagonal, which is a huge screen. So it's a 1280 by 800 definition, 1280 by 800, 720 definition projection screen, which is I was reading online, it's a hybrid size, basically for like PC and TV, whatever. Sounds excellent quality. It's like a omnidirectional sound. It's a great projector for the money. I would definitely buy another one if I had another place in the house to actually view it. So that's my video for the Crenova XPE660 projector. So if you like my video, give me a like, share, and subscribe, because you never know what I'm going to do next.